Hello and welcome to Eerie Earth. I'm your host Kieran, thank you for joining. In this podcast, I take you on a journey through the paranormal, where we talk about all things creepy, from ghosts, cryptids, and much more. So sit back, relax, and join me as we explore this eerie earth. In this episode, I would like to take you to the small town of Amityville in New York to tell you about one of the most infamous cases in the paranormal, which has baffled enthusiasts for years. Not only is it a paranormal case, it's also a true crime case, which unfortunately has been overshadowed by the supposedly demonic occurrences that took place. In 1974, in Amityville, on the shores of Long Island, New York, Ronald Defoe Jr. shot and killed 6 members of his family at 112 Ocean Avenue. His parents, Ronald Defoe Sr., Louise Defoe, and his 4 siblings, Don, 18, Allison, 13, Mark, 12, and John, 10. They were all shot in their beds with a .35 caliber Marlin 366C hunting rifle. Each sibling received 1 shot, where his parents received 2 shots each. When he was arrested, he claimed that the killings were carried out by a mob hitman called Luis Fellini. However, due to the inconsistencies in the stories, he finally admitted to the killings, stating that when he started, he just couldn't stop. He claimed he'd had a bath and even sorted out the soiled clothes he was wearing before going to work as if everything was normal. His trial took place on the 14th of October 1974, where he claimed to have no memory of killing his family and pleaded insanity, but the judge said his crime was the worst crime he had experienced, and in November that year, he was found guilty of 6 counts of second-degree murder and was sentenced to 6 consecutive 25-year sentences. He was held at the Sullivan Correctional Facility until his death in 2021. Now back to the case in question. In 1975, the Lutz family moved to the small town of Amityville, Long Island, and purchased 112 Ocean Avenue, a beautiful white wooden house with 2-quarter windows that made it look like 2 eyes peering out over the town. The Lutz family consisted of George and Lily Lutz and their 3 children. They thought they'd found their family home, but it quickly turned into a nightmare when the family were plagued with odd paranormal occurrences. Doors would slam shut in the middle of the night, black ooze would seep from the walls, and the beds would start to levitate off the ground to a deep guttural voice telling the family to get out. The Lutz family enlisted the help of famed paranormal investigators Ed and Lorraine Warren, who claimed that the Amityville haunting was one of the worst they'd ever investigated, stating that it was a demonic haunting that was plaguing the family. However, there had been lots of skepticism about their investigations and their practices, but the Warrens were adamant that it was a genuine haunting. Ed and Lorraine Warren have always been clouded with controversy, and many believe that they were charlatans. The Lutz family lasted 28 days before moving out of the home. The house was the focus of a book by Jane Anson called The Amityville Haunting, which then inspired several movies based on the haunting and even a Halloween special for The Simpsons. There are lots of people who believe that the Amityville haunting was a hoax and was built up for the books and for the movies. It is highly regarded as one of the biggest hoaxes in the paranormal community. I will leave it up to you to make that decision. If you ever watch any of the movies, please go into them with a massive pinch of salt. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of Eerie Earth. Please follow us on Spotify, and if you enjoyed this episode, please consider leaving a 5-star review. This episode of Eerie Earth is brought to you by Eerie Earth Tours, a 5-star ghost tour company in the capital city of Scotland, Edinburgh. To book a tour, please head to eerieearthtours.com or head over to Viator or TripAdvisor, where you can book your tour today. Hope to see you there. Thanks very much for listening, and as always, bye-bye for now.